Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today I will be streaming, I will start off with A1N1 versus BPS, and after that we will still have the lower bracket of the group, so the loser of this match versus the loser of Loka versus the other BPS. So let's go straight here. This is the group that we're following tonight: Loka, A1N1, BPS and BPS. And the other group is Serenity, EG, Reiti and Appa, so that's going to be the other group. But like I said, for now, I will be streaming A1N1 versus Gravitas, that BPS. And after that, I will be joining Jack, Wildone's helper, on voice, and we will commentate the second match together. However, there is a bit of a giveaway going on as well. There's a 5-minute delay on the stream, that's also why I posted the giveaway in text as well. Basically, if you want to win one of the June battle passes, you need to enter the damage that you think Team A1N1 will do as a whole the very first game. And be sure to make it an exact number, not a rough guess like 17k like that for Force did, but like literal numbers, so 17,141 or some such, you know, just like exact numbers. Basically, the person that gets closest to that, and the 5 people that will get closest to that, I should say, will win a June Battle Pass. So be sure to enter your guess, your in-game name, and your server. If you miss out on any of those, your entry isn't valid. If you make a vague guess, then your entry isn't valid. If you enter more than once, then you're disqualified as well. So just enter once your in-game name, your server, and your damage guess. The damage that you think Team A1N1 as a whole does the very first game. So, that is basically your mission here, and the reason that I started my stream just a little bit earlier than I would otherwise, because basically I wanted to explain this properly. Mutsu will be collecting the guesses for me in the chat, and he will give me the winners once we know what the damage is that's done and everything. So yeah, I will type stop in the chat once the battle is over for me, and that means that there's with the 5 minutes delay, you will not know who is winning yet, so you can't really like make your guess according to that. So basically just like, there's a room invite, let's go. And there we go, BPS is already completely there. And A1N1 has yet to arrive, but they will. Just delete your old message then. If you, basically you can only guess once. If you want to edit your guess, delete your old message. So that it's not going to count as a guess, basically. I think that's the best one. So yeah, like I said, after I said stop, which will be like probably 10 minutes from now or something, maybe a little less, but thereabouts, then you can't guess anymore. Any entries after that will not count. So that is the first giveaway for tonight. I will be holding another one, of course. But honestly, I hope you're here for the games more than that, and that you will just enjoy it. So here we are, BPS completely there, A1N1 has yet to arrive, but there we go. Diddy arriving first and foremost. And we are starting it off on Fort Despair. Here we go, both teams fully at the ready. Well, not like ready, but as in present at least. In the meantime, I hope you guys are enjoying the fact that I'm streaming more or less full screen, no overlay anymore. I've sort of worked my way around that, and I'm using my iPad to actually have to actually keep an eye on the live control room. And hopefully that will all like work as intended. So, BPS is completely ready with a 215B, a T22, 3 IS4s and 2 Kranwagens. A1N1 is still deciding on the tanks that they're driving, but they've still got 2.5 minutes for that, so that is plenty of time. In the meantime, this was so weird. Like, while I was streaming Asia, my mouse decided to die. Alright, rather, Windows decided it did not like my mouse anymore. And because of that, I had to stream with my mousepad, which was highly uncomfortable, to be honest. But yeah. 2 minutes left. And then we will go into the game. Honestly, I'm a little bit hyped for this season as a whole. It's nice to be streaming more servers again, because I'm streaming Asia Challenges, and I will be streaming NA Professionals as well. Basically, for the giveaways, by the way, every streamer can do it in their own way, but every streamer every professional stream, not a challenges one, but every professional stream will be having a Battle Pass giveaway. So keep an eye on them and just see how people use it, follow instructions and everything. For me, I generally tend to go for the damage class ones, because that is fairly easily managed. So I'm going to stick with that. Let's see. A little over 1 minute left to go. A1N1 is now completely ready with 2 mice, 2 Kranwakers, a VK, an E5 and a Vickers. So that is a very heavy lineup for them. And we'll have to see how that will go, because that can be very, very tricky. "48 seconds left. This is always the boring part. We're all ready except the game itself. And then we'll see some action. So now we just wait. Basically, I have some music in the background on that is just there for when I have nothing to say. Because usually I just end up filling the space with useless babble like this. It will be easier later. It will be useful later to commentate together with other people, because then you actually have someone to talk to and have like proper conversations and everything. And here we go. Basically, my data comes straight from the game, so this is what the game still shows. Team name, that is. I'm not going to go into the political part of it. I definitely have my thoughts about the whole situation over there. But I don't think it's up to me to talk about that. So let's just focus on BPS versus A1N1. And have fun with the match as a whole. Moods, in the meantime, thank you so much for managing the chat for me and the whole giveaway stuff, because that makes it a lot easier. So we have Naker, who is spotting for A1N1, spotting the Kranwakers as they come over, and one of the Ice Force, so they can guess where the rest is. And most of A1N1 is actually focusing on the middle. Ali Mosa has been spotted. He shoots, but does no damage yet. And we have base C now being kept. F going out of there. We have Playmaker heading towards base B. And basically you have to be careful not to give away 2 bases. They have a point advantage, so they don't really need to bother decapping base B and losing HP for that. Which is exactly what they're not doing. But as it is, A1N1 has a point advantage and still a little bit of an HP advantage. Evil Fantasy being very, very forwards here. Using the rocks. And we see lines of fire happening. But the VK is taking some damage. Comedy has taken some damage, but overall it's not really too much going on just yet. Alimosa, not sure what he's doing. He's in a very precarious position here. And taking a lot of damage for being out in the open like that. So he has to be more careful. Mimo, same thing. Being way too out in the open. And the mouse has to be careful not to lose more HP here. Venusaur now moving in and losing a whole lot of HP here. Not sure what he was thinking. Alimosa moving in, taking him out, and then potentially using the corpse. Nacker not looking too healthy. We have Kuma from north arriving at the backside. Edgar moving in fast. Mac has lost a lot of HP very quickly. And Mac and Nacker both disappear at the same time. Animosa still alive, if barely, but there he goes. Both teams have lost 2 guns. And can pretty much go every which way, but basically now A1N1 is focus firing a little bit more, taking out Evil Fantasy, and now having a gun advantage. Mimo has been taken out, gun advantage is gone again. And we have Urua and Didi Sale going after Playmaker. And Playmaker is taken out. It is 4 versus 2. F low on HP. Kuma not so much. F has been taken out and now it's just Kuma, and it's safe to say that the first match will be for A1N1. Basically all you can do is prolong his suffering a little bit more. But he doesn't have the HP, not the gun, and he is taken out. So that is the damage done for in the very first battle. It is 18,078 by N1. Just taking a quick screenshot of that so that we can save it. But basically that is the damage that you could have guessed closest to it in any case. And now I've posted stop. And I've saved the screenshot, so all that is good. Now let me just quickly go back and ready up. So the 5 people closest to the actual damage done will win a June Battle Pass. I'm on my alternate Discord account. To avoid the load of 100 servers. And I actually got a DM there. And I was like, wait, what? But yeah. Anyhow, 32 seconds left before we go into the second match of this best of 5. No real pressure just yet. But we have BPS now ready with 4 IS-4s, a T-22 and 2 Kranwagens versus 2 mice, 3 IS-4s. And a Kranwagen and a 215B. 7 seconds left to go before we go into the second match. Giveaway is now over, but there will be another one with the next matchup. So let's have a look. Here we go. Let's see. No, there's barely any in-game noise. Just to explain, there's barely any in-game noise because later on when I will be on voice with others, it means that you would not be able to hear them over the in-game noise. And as you fly above the tanks rather than follow them, you barely hear any noise to begin with. So here we go. BPS focusing on the base A side and A1N1 doing the same thing. Didi Sale already being spotted, as does most of the A1N1 team. Fire is happening, Ghosty taking a little bit of damage there. As does Comedy. Alimosa again being quite forwards there. Knocker losing quite a bit of HP. Trying to get you the best angle to show you what's going on. The IS-4s are dug in. Not sure what Ayumosa is doing. He's being so forwards here. That can't be good. And as such, he's losing a lot of HP, which he really didn't need to. Playmaker is the preferred target. And he's the one that is being focused on. Didi going into base B while he's at it. Ayumosa not looking too healthy here. And he will be taken out as soon as Cassio reloads. There he goes. Playmaker still alive. Ghosty has been taken out. Evil Fantasy is not long for this world either. Gun-wise and HP-wise is going up rather similarly. With only 100 HP left for Mimo. And he gets taken out as well. It is 4 versus 4. And now there's a definite advantage for BPS HP-wise. They will have to take out the guns though. And F is being focused on by Didi. Comedy has been taken out. Oh, no idea what my camera's doing there. And we have Cassio shielding as much as he can. And taking out Didi. It is 2 versus 4. And Cassio is keeping Urva alive very nicely here. Criminal is not long for this world either, being taken out there. And this match is definitely for BPS. They just need to stay alive a little bit longer. That is very good reverse side scraping by the F there. Very cheeky, but it works out well. And Urva is blown up. And the second match is for BPS. Very nicely done. In this case, I don't understand what Ayumosa was doing. It's both matches now that he was just very forwards and just pretty much going YOLO. I think it might have been miscommunication on the voice. I don't know. But let's see. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the third match of this best of 5. No real pressure just yet because neither team is up for a match point just yet. So let's see. Oof, Velosaur just posted in the chat having lots of ping and packet loss, so that's not a good thing. Let's see. "48 seconds left to go. And then we will see who's going, well, how the third match is going to go. But we see BPS now ready in 3 Crown Wagons, a Leo, a T22, an E5 and a Vickers for Canal. So that is a much more mobile lineup. Versus 1 Mouse, 2 AMX 50Bs, 2 E5s, a Vickers and a Crown Wagon. Less mobile, but it kind of depends on what side of the battle you want to dominate. In a map like Canal with lots of ridge lines and a very wide map with 4 bases, it can pay off to have lots of mobility. At the same time, can also pay off to take lots of armor. So it really depends on what they're going to do. So let's see. Third match, here we go. Let's see. There we go. I do love this camo. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's just so pretty. And it looks nice on most things. So let's have a look. We have BPS focusing on the C and D side. And we have A1 and 1 pretty much focusing on the B and D side. Big hit into Didi there. Already. And we have Cassio moving in to get that base and get them that advantage. Kuma, and they're basically like with everyone they have spotted now, they decide to not want to be there. Cassio taking a hit, Kuma taking another hit, and basically they just need to not be there. But they have a Cassio not being careful enough here, not actually retreating enough. I'm probably going to take a hit here. No, Didi decides to not shoot him, but someone else. And now we have A1N1 playing very aggressively, going for that decap. Oh, maybe not. They've actually retreated out of it. Possibly wanting to pretty much go after and go for a full-on push. They are not focusing the same target though. Comedy now almost gone. But not before Edgar. Both teams have lost the tank now. Evil Fantasy is horribly out of position and getting shot from multiple places. Mimo is taken out. Playmaker not looking too healthy. But so far still alive. We have Kuma and the F chasing after Urva. And he's not going to be long for this world either. He might go after Playmaker though. He's still alive by the skin of his teeth, but he's still alive. He gets taken out. And so far, we have A1N1 losing a lot of tanks very, very quickly. There's some lower HP targets on BPS side. And there goes Playmaker, surviving for way longer than I thought he would. Alimosa gets taken out. Naker and Criminal are the only ones left. Naker gets tracked there, and as such gets hit. And then gets taken out, and now we only have Criminal left. And he gets set on fire, and basically then is blown up. That was a very aggressive match. I think that A1N1 did not expect it to go this like this. That is definitely interesting. Very aggressive, and in this case I think the fact that F and Kuma went as aggressively as they did and spotted them all, that saved them here, knowing that they were coming, which meant that A1N1 couldn't catch them out basically. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the fourth match of this best of 5. Now the pressure is on A1N1 because BPS has won 2 games now and it is a best of 5. So the first 1 to 3 victories is through to the upper bracket. Nothing really lost though, because if the team that loses this matchup will still have another chance through the lower bracket, and we will see who they are up against after this game. After this matchup, I should say. 52 seconds before we see this fourth match. Both teams are completely ready, and we see BPS taking a very peculiar lineup. We see 2 Spaghettis, 2 Kranwagens, 2 E5s, and a Vigis. And Spaghettis, we've not seen them all that much. And there's of course a reason for that. It is a fantastic tank, and it can work really well, but it can be very tricky as well. On the other side, we also see a very different lineup. We see a Mouse, we see 4 E5s, a T22 and a Vigis. So they're going to depend on that little bit of troll armor, the speed boost and everything to get around, I think. Definitely interesting to see this and see what happens. 10 seconds left to go. And then we will see what happens. It's so tricky, by the way, to have to keep track of multiple devices to keep an eye on everything. Basically, everything is announced on my Discord in the tournament schedule, so you can find who's streaming who there. So let's see what is going to happen in this fourth match, whether or not BPS can continue this streak and take it home. We have the Kranwagens going pretty forwards, getting spotted early because of it. Kuma not spotting anyone just yet. Cassio taking a hit to the tracks. DD as such has been spotted, but so do the E5s as they cross over. And big hits happen there. Comedy losing a lot of HP here. But it's also meant that BPS has not kept the base. And I doubt we're going to see the same sort of aggressive gameplay here. We have all of BPS now moving towards the base D side though. The mouse holding. So that basically gives him a gun. Oof, Evil Fantasy losing a lot of HP. Just crossing over there. Thing is that they've all been spotted. And Edgar moving, also losing more HP. Basically, BPS is pretty much making the same mistake. We have a mouse versus 2 Kranwagens. He's basically there to occupy the Kranwagens. And it's working. Naker in the corner. Urwa not penning that shot. But basically A1N1 has the advantage here. Evil Fantasy losing more HP. The spaghetti is not working as intended. And now we have A1N1 moving in quite aggressively. And it will be about the focus fire here. Alimosa has been taken out, but has kept those Kranwagens away for a very long time. You see the HP has just dropped so much for a lot of tanks on BPS's side. They still have a gun advantage, but even with that, basically, it will be very tricky. Those Kranwagens need to arrive somewhere, and BPS will need their guns alive. Didi chasing down Evil Fantasy. Comedy has been taken out. A1N1 in a precarious position now of having lost a lot of HP. I'm not sure how that happened, to be honest, because they actually had the upper hand here. I think they didn't push in aggressively enough. And in this case, played it safe, let the Kranwagens take out the mouse and then just go for it. And that means that BPS is through to the upper bracket and A1N1 is through to the lower bracket. So that is the first matchup up and over. And I'll also have a look at the win as well. I'll play you some replays and everything. Let's see how much time we have left. Let's have a look at what happened for the rest. Nice to see BPS this strong, to be honest. So what happened with Loka and the other BPS? That is still going, so we don't know yet. Don't think we will have results on this side yet either. No, that's not known yet either. Wait, UG is the one I want. Let's see. So that is the... Oh, I got a gold box. I was wondering what that notification was. I pretty much barely ever play on my press accounts. I mainly use them for streaming because no one can contact them, so you get no messages or weird toony invite rooms and everything. So yeah, that is the first matchup up and over, like I said, and I'm actually need to check again because I was a noob and I didn't pay attention. When is the next match? I think it's in like 20 minutes. Yeah, at 51. So like half an hour, so 25 minutes from now we will get a room. So, with that being said, let's go into some replays. Got a bunch of them, and they should be fun. Let's see, what else? What do I want to show you guys? Oh, let's start off with this one. And there we go. It helps if it opens. There we go. Nice little replay in the 120-1 FT. So, okay, we have the results. Actually, I should have specified this. No, actually, he made the guess in time. We have results. The damage done was 18,778. I'm actually going to have to... just need to check something. Hang on. I'm just waiting for that before I go on voice with people. Oof. That would have been a nice shot, to be honest, if that happened. He's all alone. This is something I tend to do as well, but that can either go really well or really badly. And pretty much everyone seems to be on the other side, so this might be a very campy game. Let's see. Basically what happens, I'll just tell you about that actually. Oof. That would have hit if he had actually moved on. Is that Gassio made a guess, which on its own wouldn't be an issue were it not for the fact that he was actually in the team and like part of the battle. So I want to know when he made that guess as to whether or not I find that valid, because as much as I like you, Miguel, that is a bit iffy. So if it's like all the way in the beginning, like before the battle actually started, it's all good. If it's after, then no. Because you basically have inside information. That was a cheeky shot. Let's see. He's just capping bases, which I heartily approve of. Nice. Let's see. So just waiting for Mutsu to check that out. Maybe I can actually. No, I can't. I'm sorry, Gassio, I'm not counting that. Basically, we can't check the exact time that you made that guess, and you could have had inside information. So we're in a color battle situation here, with a, to be honest, a very OP tank. He has 2 bases. There we go, first one gone. Basically, Gassio, honestly, I adore you, but I'm not counting that. With the 5-minute delay and you being a part of the team that was in that battle, you could have easily had inside information, so I'm not going to go for that. So now Mutsu needs to find the technical 6th place to give me a list of winners. You can enter for the second one though, Gassio, because you're not a part of that team. But yeah, this was iffy, and I think you knew that. Basically, he just needs to hold. He has 2 bases. He doesn't need to take the chance. Oop, there's another one-shot. Thing is that he's also a one-shot for Scorpion, so he has to be careful. And he knows that. Very well done. And he even bounces that shot. Very well done indeed. Nice. Cheeky game. Very lovely color band off here. Well done. Basically, this is just like going to, well, wrong or right, depends on how you look at it. But going to the other side, it can work out really well for you. And it did in this case. Okay, so we have winners. We're not including Gassio, and there was another guess that would have been 6th place, except for the fact that he didn't actually specify account details, so that wasn't valid either. But Play for Beer has won a battle pass, as has Blade from Asia server, John Mac 007 from NA, Nutforce has won, and last but not least is Jack Cypher from NA. So congratulations, take in mind that these are June battle passes, so you will only get them once June battle pass is actually out. I will keep an eye on things and will ask Wargaming about it once the battle pass is out, so just be patient. There will be some time before you actually get them, but you have won them, so congratulations. So now I'm going to switch off my iTunes, close that off, and need to adjust my voice thing to the right bit for voice. That should be this. And then I'm going to connect on voice on the streamer server that we have and wait for people to join. There we go. So just to reiterate, thank you, Mutsu. Just to reiterate, the winners are Play for Beer from EU server, __ BL4DE from Asia server, John Mac 007 from NA server, Netforce _ Tom Clancy from EU server, and Jack Cypher from the NA server. So those are the winners for the first Battle Pass giveaway. There is going to be another one. I will be announcing that shortly. And for now, I'm just waiting for people to join. But their matches are probably still going. So I'm actually just going to announce the next one. I did think I'd have to specify that if you're like actually in the team, then you shouldn't make a guess. I can't fault you for trying Gassio, but no, that's not happening. Let's see. We have 20 minutes left to go. Who are we up against? Is that still going? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go for the damage that A1N1 does. For the second giveaway of 5 Battle Passes, guess the damage that the team of A1N1 does as a whole the very first battle. Because we know that they're in the matchup at least. Post your in-game name, your server, and your guess. You can only enter once. Basically, if you want to make a different entry, you need to delete your old message and then make a second guess. So basically, until I type stop, you can do that. I'm just going to specify this if you're actually in one of the teams that that is connected to this. Obviously, you won't be able to enter because you have like inside information. just going to type that as well. You can only enter once if you're in one of the teams. You can't enter. Begin. So there we go. That's the second one on its way. Also, if you want to edit your guest, delete your old guest and post a new one with all the data needed. So that is that. We don't know yet. Kasu. There we go. Okay. Let's focus back on the game and everything in it. We still have time. And I'm going to start off another replay. Here we go. I always miss the music, to be honest, because it just helps with a little bit of distraction. Also need to edit the game sounds, I think, switch it off once people join voice. But for now, we're good. Let's have a look. Battle in the Smasher. He basically got the Smasher out of one of the lucky crate containers. So he's been very lucky with that because the tank is pretty much OP. Let's have a look. We've got 1815. Move this. He does move. He just goes off on his own. And then moves a little bit and stands still again. He is a little bit special there. Let's see. There you go. Smash is such an open tank. Let's see. I'll switch off the volume after this. Oh, that's a big hit. The 8015 is special because he did move. He's just deciding not to move anymore. Oof, that was a derp fill. AG fill, I should say. Basically, he just needs to be careful not to get shot at. As long as he doesn't get shot at, he's fine. And that's the end of the STG. Let's see. Falcon. Lovely tank. Tricky chunk, to be fair, because it's pretty rare, so you don't see it often. But I do really like it. Nice, and then he's gone. 3.5k damage into it. We have an Emile arriving at the back. Lorraine over there, begging to get shot. And that's the end of the Lorraine. Falcon in the middle there, but the Emile is much more preferable target, I reckon. Why AP though? You could have just HE'd him. It's an Emile. He should be okay though, to be honest. And now he should just use AP. There we go. Taking a big hit there, but we're already 5.3k damage into it. And there we go, they should have him. Just hope he doesn't actually pen. Yeah, he does do that, but basically the IS-5 will have him. And there we go. $5.8k damage. Honestly, he's barely had this tank and he's already aced it. It took me forever to. I mean, Kasu is like a completely OP player. Like, you wouldn't... He's not at 60% here, but if you see him play, he's just like so OP. So let's... Where's your smasher? You've got way too many... No, this is... It's going to take forever. Yeah, let's not. But like, he had like, I think 14 games in it and already aced it. It was insane. Just going to ask Jack where he's at. So yeah, slowly but surely we are moving towards the next matchup. Let's show this one actually. And yes, the battle pass that you won will come to you once the battle pass starts. Pantera. I do love this tank, it's fun. Apparently, he's had some very tense games with BPS versus Loka, but Jack will be joining us soon. I actually need to get the settings right. Oh, well, maybe after this battle. And just hope that it doesn't mute him out too much. So the giveaway is happening. Like I said, enter with your damage guess that you think that A1N1 will do the very first battle as a whole team. And post your in-game name and server along with it. Any entry missing that will not count. I like it when they're standing still like that. I mean, he hit me as well. But there we go. Got some nice damage in.
Hi.
Hey!
Hi, Eminette. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I hope everything can hear you because I'm not sure how to go to settings mid-replay.
I see. Don't worry. Wow. Not. Let's go with your games first because
They were very aggressive, to be honest. I was surprised at that. Like, not surprised. Actually, no. I'm just going to exit this. I'll show it again another time, so I can actually just like up down the volume for the game because I want people to understand what you're saying.
I see.
Let's see. But no, the games were quite aggressive. It was great, but it was just very aggressive. Didn't really expect that much aggression. But we had A1N1 that, in the end, they won the first game, but then they lost 3 in a row. Basically, BPS just regrouped and found themselves. And there were some really weird movements, which makes me think that some of the people had massive lag. Because there was a mouse going completely YOLO. And that's generally not what a mouse does, for instance.
Yes. I see. I mean, mouse is very, very slow. So if that mouse rushes, when it gets spotted at a very, very far position, then the other team can respawn quickly enough, either to shut down the mouse or to ignore the mouse completely and push on the other side. So maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, in this case, like, yeah, in For Despair, the mouse pretty much went A.
Yeah.
So that,
A?
yeah. It was like he was there and
What?
he was holding, and then he just pushed forwards, and he was suddenly like in the middle of a whole bunch of enemy tanks. So it
Oh.
was there were more movements like that, but some of it was just a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, though, the matches were great fun as well. So it was a pleasure to watch all the same. I'm just hoping that there weren't too many ping issues for people.
I hope so as well. But I mean, oh my, I think everyone watching this should agree with me on that. And I think the games I was streaming, BPS versus Loka, are amongst the best games I've ever streamed. I would go far and say it's the best games I've ever streamed when I first started streaming, and obviously easily the best games I've ever seen in this season. And
That's awesome.
it was very awesome. BPS was leading 2-0 at one point.
And they still
And
lost because I just checked the
they
results.
lost. Yes, and they lost. The first two games they were very, very dominant. First game, like BPS, chipped away the hit points of Loka brilliantly. They were in great positions. Loka was not in good positions, and that moment when BPS chipping so many hit points away from Loka, pretty much sealed the win for them. Loka tried really hard to get it back, but to no avail because they lost too many hit points already, and BPS was just mopping up the
Oh
pieces.
wow.
Yeah. Second game, oh my goodness me, it went down to the it went down to, I can use this metaphor here, it went down to the quark, I would say.
I love games like that, to be honest. Makes it difficult to
it's-
commentate because you can't keep your cool, but still awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was on to around 980 cap points. It went down to 1 versus 1, UE10 and IS4, and I think Unif bin Josh and the Kramwagen. I think Unif bin Josh has a little more hit points. I don't know, like similar hit points than UE10, and they are just like circling around the rock. But then UE10, he realizes that if he does not do anything, then Luca will win it by caps. So what he did is he moved backwards gradually from the rock near the the northeastern corner where there is an IS4 usually there to reset B, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he moved backwards gradually to B because B was captured by Loka and UV10 is in BPS. So at around 990 cap points, Unifi Josh tried to perma-track UE10. He could not. UE10 went to B at the very last second, and the brief cap stop, means that originally Luca has a very tiny cap lead. BPS won it in the end.
Oh wow.
That was insane. I think I was
Yeah.
screaming at that time.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Did you also see, by the way,
Yeah.
EG lost to Appa?
Yes, I saw it. I have no idea what happened to Endgame.
No.
And they're like the APA is like the fourth clan, but if you do not count the 6 versus 7 games, they are probably the second clan to beat Endgame this season.
Yeah. I'm just
um,
very surprised, very curious what happened there. I will need
Yeah.
to watch that back.
Me too. And APA just snatched the top 8 at the very last previous skill tournament, and also with the help of the second team as well. So them winning against Endgame was kind of like David versus Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think we love an underdog story, but that was very, very unexpected, and I think APA has really punched above their weight for that game.
Yeah, they have to have, because EG is EG. I mean, they're a whole different class. I'm really curious what happened there. I'm sure we will see a lot of it back in the tournament chat as well on the big server. But I'm not going to check that right now, because there is some drama going on. Apparently the caller from APA got perma-banned right before the tournament started.
But they still won against Endgame. So.
Yeah, that just makes it more surprising, to be honest.
Yeah. I didn't catch that though, so that was pretty interesting news.
Yeah, so that we will definitely have to watch that back later on.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we are getting ready for A1N1 versus BPS.
Yeah, it
Today
is.
we're both streaming on our own channels. Tomorrow I will not be streaming myself, but I will be joining you at your stream, just for the people watching.
Yeah. Besides that, I have to announce we have to start guessing in the first battle.
This is, by the way, just
Yes.
to specify, this is for Jack's channel only, not mine. I'm already running mine.
Okay, so start guessing now. How much damage is A1M1 going to do in the first game?
I'm running the same one because A1N1 was the only one that I knew would be there, so I decided to start just a little bit early to let people get some more guesses in.
Yes, so I think we have the winners already for the last one, but I think I will announce it later on. Um, I just have to double check whether I'll announce it after the stream probably. Just have to double check whether it's right or not.
Yep.
But
I had Gassio guess on mine.
right. Because I've announced it way too late, so I probably would allow it to go on until the timer has gone into the 6 minute, like the 6 minute mark, and then I will say stop at time.
I always use stop like just before the second match
Battle
begins.
starts. Ah, I see.
Because
I
you have
see.
then 2 minutes extra after the end of the match. They won't know yet who's won anyway. Unless it's a very quick battle, but then you also know to
Ooh.
take that into account anyway.
Really interesting. The comment got deleted. I got it saved though. On my chat lot, so you're saved. There we go.
But yeah, I had Gassio come into the chat to take a guess, but he was actually on one of the teams. So I said that I'm sorry, Gassio, I'm not going to count that as a valid vote because he has inside information. I can't allow that.
I see. I see. Okay. Did we announce the lineups already? I kind of forgot.
Not
Sorry.
yet. Not yet. But go ahead.
Let's do it. I mean BPS going with Triple Crown, double T125 for T22 and Yeehaw WZ, A1M1 triple T125, triple Crown Wagons and a Mouse.
They've been taking very heavy lineups the whole way, A1M1.
Yeah.
It seems to suit them most.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about this map. The Port Bay is a map that you want to get information, particularly when you do not have the cap lead. And knowing where the enemies are is going to be very important. So A1M1 not taking any mediums or lights. Will that be a bold? Will that not help A1M1 at all?
I think in this case you can fairly safely assume that A1N1 will be focusing on the A and B side and leave C to BPS. And the thing is that when you see this kind of lineup, they can expect that as well. So they can actually put someone behind base A or near base B to decap it to keep them from getting that advantage.
Right, so we're in. Oh, goodness me. I think you would take the first minute probably. I forgot to do something on my screen.
Oh dear, what did you do?
Overlays,
did you not
but
do?
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. The chaos wouldn't be complete without a little bit of technical difficulty here or there.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget something like that, but that should be.
Nah, no
very
problem, no problem. So here we go into the battle. Teams wishing each other good luck, which is something I can always appreciate.
Noise, that is. I'm still working on, so.
Yeah, no
keep it
problem.
on.
And we actually have A1N1 sending their Kranwagens and E5s at -1 towards base C. The mouse are waiting for them to pass before heading towards base B. BPS focusing on base A, expecting them to go there, I think. And basically not making a move for C either, except for Foxy that is spotting, who just got spotted himself, so they know that there's people there.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello,
but
back.
General. Oh my god. But General is in a very interesting position, but he's taking that position to reset C. And
Yeah.
A1M1's getting C, but there is no one to spot C up. So General in that position might be useless. And he didn't connect, obviously.
No, he's also blind shotting now because Foxy actually went away, so he didn't spot who was there anymore. In the meantime, thank you so much, Bella. Much appreciated. She just stopped by my
Ooh,
stream and was very, very nice to me.
right.
So we see some
That's
crossfire
really
happening, but right now not much damage has been done. Base C has been capped, so that's the advantage for A1N1, with BPS now moving towards base A.
Hmm. Oh yeah, they're now capturing base A with Haken. Not getting reset by Criminal, he cannot spot Haken up. So that means A1N1 will have a very good, healthy hit point pool, no, cap lead. I always confuse these two terms. But I mean, anyway, they also have a hit point pool lead.
They
So
have
that
both leads, to
means,
be honest.
yeah, so BPS has to make a move. And it has all to do with where the weakness of their lineup is. But they're going for B. A1N1 needs to reset B. Great job by Mimo, but would that be enough?
Yeah, they're basically double tagging them with two different tanks, which makes it very difficult for BPS to actually cap this.
It is, but A1M1 actually has positioned themselves well to reset B, and look at them. They are
Oof.
now leading by more than 3k of damage, and this is looking really strong for A1M1 at the moment. BPS, they need to find a way, but they haven't so far.
Basically, RG is now not like out of the equation, but it will be very hard for them. We have Cora, who's in a very difficult position.
Hmm.
We have
I
Mimo
think.
moving in to do damage. Basically, A1N1
Oh,
is making full use of them that difficult position that they're in.
yeah, I mean, APS needs to rush Prince. I mean, they have Naked to stop them on the way, but then A1 and one great call,
Oof.
shutting down RG, and he's dead, and Korra is going to be the next tank down. And thank you, Bella, for 20 pounds of donations. Thank you very much. And Korra
Aw.
is now dead, and A1 and one more than 3k of advantage. This is surely A1 and one, isn't it?
I wouldn't be so sure yet, because there are some very low HP targets as well, but they need to be taken out if they want to make this work. We have a one-on-one happening at base A. Alimosa pretty much can't do anything. Prince is retreating, which is a good call. If they keep their one-shot safe, then I would say it's an A1N1 game.
Yeah, but BPS has to kill Naked off very quickly. Alimos is killed, and A1A1 cannot throw this one away. They have a really solid hit point pool advantage and Capley. Great kill onto Foxy by Didi Sala, but Mimo is coming in his mouse. Very bullish indeed. He needs to save Naked, but he could not. Yui Tang killed him off, but got avenged by Mimo. So A1A1 5 tanks against 3. Surely, I think
Yeah,
this is going to be A101.
definitely now. Thing to remember is also the fact that we had Prince with the 138 HP that he has was actually holding in the back and actually got all 3 shots in again just by being out of the way, and BPS did not turn around to deal with him.
Right.
They couldn't really because they had too many tanks in front of them, but him getting away with that basically meant there was like 1k damage extra done for A1N1.
Yeah, and it's now E Hall against Criminal, and I forgot to say stop. So now stop guessing already. Unless you got your calculator out
That's
and
for
figure
Jack's
out.
stream, by the way, not mine yet. I type it in the chat to make sure that they know, but I'll type it in like a minute or two.
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow it
And
will be easier because we have no double streams, so basically what is said will happen for the stream rather than
very
specifically for
true.
one.
Yeah, very true indeed. And also, it's better. I think Blitz is going to help me this time because I think there is kind of a lack of staffing a little bit. But Ilford is the only one doing the stuff, so yeah, he's in a lot of pressure. But anyway, we are seeing BPS only one tank doing more than 2k, A1M1 5 tanks doing more than 2k. So great job to A1M1. Resetting B, I think, gave A1M1 a lot of hit point pool. BPS unable to break through A1M1, so that was a good start right here.
I think in this case, what cost BPS the game was pretty much RG and Cora at base B. That is what turned the tables, because they kind of had to make a move, But the way that A1N1 had positioned their tanks, they had all the crossfire possibilities, and Archie and Cora could not get out of there. So then A1N1 could just push, and was 2 guns out of the equation fairly easily without too much risk and damage to themselves.
Very true indeed. So far, we're going to be seeing some changes for A1N1, meme mode into the VK19.01p. It's a very common tank in randoms, but not quite in Clan Wars. Do you know? Do you think? What do you think is the reason behind it?
The thing is that A1N1 has been going for typically very heavy lineup every single match, and each time I think, yeah, that's not going to work. And each time I'm very surprised when it does, because with the lineup that they have, they lack the mobility to run around. But it's almost like because they use the heavy lineup so much, they force their enemies' tanks to not behave like they would normally do. Like for instance, a medium needing to take more of a heavy-ish role because of where they're positioned, and I think that's why it keeps working for them.
Very true indeed. Great shot. Thank you, Dadu, for saying stop. We're now into the next game with BPS Triple T185, Double Crown Wagons, E-Hall, Iceful General, Vickers Light. And on the other hand, A1M1 is going to go again with full heavies. So will they take the same strategy, or will BPS have a complete change? And we will find out soon.
I think we're going to see a different strategy. BPS is splitting again, and A1N1 is doing that a little bit as well, but that's mostly just to decap base C, I believe, and not. They don't think they're actually going to go towards the C side as a whole. But they're actually using their E5 as a medium function. And with him being spotted, they know the Vickers is out there somewhere, they just don't know where. And now they do.
That was a miss. I think it was a bounce from General, but spotted out Ellie so that's always a good thing. I mean, bouncing shots at the very start is not a big deal. I mean, A1M1 still with a very tiny hit point pool lead, so some 2 shots would actually swing it back to BPS favor. So
it's fairly negligible at this stage, because all the things are still pretty healthy and they can still do pretty much everything. But base A has been capped, which means that A1N1 has the advantage in cap points as well. And it will be up to BPS to make a move here.
Very true indeed. And BPS, they have to make a move. They don't have the cap points. They don't have the hit points as well. So they might have to find a way to spot tanks up, chip away the hit points of A1M1. And A1M1 is looking very, very consolidated. So it's going to be hard
They're
for
just
BPS to break through.
And that makes sense, because they have the advantage. They need to let BPS make the mistakes. All they need to do is be sure that base B does not get capped, and they have people in place for that to avoid that happening.
However, I'm a little bit worried about Criminal here. It's potentially an isolated tank for A1M1. BPS are not quite there yet, so...
no, but Yui is behind him, though.
Can be spared. Oh, yeah.
Now
Prince
Yui is pretty much the isolated tank. They are team tagging, sorry, I can't brain, right now. And basically, Alimosa is the one in a off position that is not really working out for him. So he has to be careful, and he's actually retreating from where he is, which I think is a good call, because he lost way too much HP there for nothing.
Oh, he gets tracked by Cora. That's a good shot there, and he can't lose any more hit points at this stage. Hit points are still in favor of A1M1 because Cora also took some hits as well. But it's still on BPS to make the kills and get the caps back. RG is tagging up Sector 2. I think they are summoning the other tanks to rotate to the corner probably. And I think they know A1M1 is bunched up near their spawn. And they are finding a way. I think they are working a way, but time is running out at the moment. It's now 600 cap points for A1M1.
Prince is now relocated. The thing is that with base C being kept, they don't really need to be there. Only to see the push coming, and they doesn't need to be out in the open like that.
True. But General, once again, spawning up Prince. And Ali Mose is joining up with the other T125s. I think A1N1 is expecting BPS to push A because, you know, they only have the A cap. So if BPS manages to get a cap start on A, that means A1N1 would not gain any cap points, and B as well. because 2 caps, meaning you will get a faster rate of cap point increase.
That
So
being said, though,
I
they're pushing
yeah.
C.
Yes, because A1M1 was expecting them on A and B, and BPS knows this. They cannot fall into the trap of A1M1. So if I were BPS, would have done the same thing and try the hands on C. So great call for an Algae anyway. But the Crown Wagons might be there to get some spots in. They have to approach this one carefully.
I think in this stage that they're actually too late to push now, because we're at 800 hit points and they're trying to push a team that is pretty much dug in, and that is for the whole team, regardless of what base they're pushing. I think they genuinely hope to catch anyone unawares, and the only one that they've caught, not even just unawares, but semi-unaware, is Prince. And he's retreating, and he's getting help very quickly here.
But I mean, great job in trying to shut down Prince. But I'm more surprised that A1M1 didn't go for B, because it was at one point completely abandoned. But Yuri Ted, was an Emerald Rap, or was it just great focus fire right there?
I
no
think it
idea.
was very good focus fire, because now look at this. We have 5 A1N1 tanks dealing with Foxy and Yeehaw. They're focus firing Foxy. They don't need much more. Didi is capping base B. He is getting reset. Foxy is almost gone. Mimo as well, to be honest. It can still go every which way, but it's all about the focus fire and getting those kills in.
But it's really close. I mean, A1N1, 955, but that kill on Mimo might be the winning move here. Naked is also very low. If they kill off Naked, BPS will win this one outright. They need to put their shells in. Great kill onto Naked,
There we
and
go.
BPS won this one. Great job there.
This was also, I just want to point out the move that General did. He left the battle to go and cap base A, because with this one, it was the kills that got it. So if you can avoid the enemy team getting any more points, that can make the difference. I think the whole of it together got BPS this game. I'm not actually sure what happened to A1N1, because in this case, I feel they kind of like dropped the ball. BPS moved very well, but like when you have 5 tanks versus 2 tanks, those 2 tanks should not live for more than like 20 seconds, and they did.
Yeah, and I think BPS, they have a much better focus fire than A1N1 at that corner that I was following. And BPS, obviously, they know they cannot let be left unattended, and they really shut down the mouse as well. So all in all, BPS, with the kills they need, really brought the game back to them, and that is now 1-1 for both teams.
And this is kind of what happened with A1N1 versus the other BPS. A1N1 won the first game, and then BPS stole it back. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to see a repetition of that now with the other BPS team.
But the A1 what we are seeing here, I think they look strong. I think it's going to be very close, and it all depends on really the focus fire and also individual skills. And I think A1N1 needs to be on top of the game, because the first game was very very good. They punished BPS really hard with the positioning they had at the start. And I think on Rockfield, this is even more important because it can be quite an open map. And the mediums and lights are going to be very important here to get the spots in. We will be following Foxy very soon, how he's going to get the spots up.
I think there's also something to be said for the fact that the first game, the heavy lineup and the way that A1N1 uses them is a bit of a surprise. I think by the second game, the enemy team, in this case the other BPS, is sort of like figured out how it works. So they lose that element of surprise. I am curious to see an actual Vickers with A1N1 now, though.
More recently, I've seen more of the Vickers lights sporting near A, and that spot though gives the team a lot of information of whether the teams go for the C side or near the A side. So I think Foxy is going to do the same for BPS.
And Naka is doing the same thing for A1N1. This is basically mirror movement that we see very often on this map.
Yeah. I mean, both teams definitely have done their homework in how to spot in the Vickers light. So look at Foxy. Spot up both Mimo and Didi Sala. And this is a really good
General.
Happened. Oh,
that was a double tap from the IS-4 and one of the Kranwagens.
Oh. Yeah, I think Nate also went to that same spot. So this is a very important spot. So hit points are now in favor of A1M1 once again by more than 1,000 hit points. They got C as well. So once again, BPS under a big disadvantage.
But this is the thing. A1N1, with the lineup that they have, plays so much more aggressively than what you would give them credit for with the lineup that they have. And it makes it for very fun games, to be fair, because it just makes them a lot less predictable.
Oh, Mimo and Didis are trying to apply pressure onto double crown runners here. Cora in general dropping below and to join Algae there. But I think they're now on low ground. They might be in big trouble here.
They are, because now basically they have the high ground. At the same time, Criminal is losing a lot of HP, just repositioning himself. General is not looking too healthy. I'm quite surprised actually that A1N1 has not just pushed these two E5s yet.
Yeah. I think at least it needs to keep on pushing through though, because I think they need to take out both Alimos and Criminal quickly enough. They're taking out Criminal, so that's really good. Alimos is going to be the next one, but A1N1 also made a move to shut down UE10. This is really tense.
This is, I think, by the looks of it right now, BPS has the advantage. They not necessarily have the HP advantage yet, but the way that their tanks are positioned, they are going to lose Yui, but they should be able to take out Alimosa for it.
And they're also taking Naka. They got that Record Slide out, which was very important.
And Foxy is still alive. 85
Yeah.
HP, but he's still alive. So if BPS digs in a little bit more and makes sure to focus fire, Mimo is almost gone. RG only gets tracked for that shot, which is very lucky for him. And there goes Mimo.
There it goes.
In this case, HP-wise, I would still give it to A1N1, but the thing is there's just so many more guns on BPS's side.
Yup. And Comedi's now one shot and got killed by General. And I think
tried to get out of
Prince
there.
next.
He couldn't do anything else.
Looking for Diddy Solo. No, I don't think.
And Foxy running around, still getting shots in.
Meanwhile, BPS is now. I mean, they don't need to focus fire right now. It's now 6 tanks against 2, so they just have to kill the tanks, and it's their game. And Prince and Diddy Sala commiserations,
there we go.
consolation prize if they could kill tanks, but they're dead.
This was just so cleverly played by BPS. Just the whole way that they kept their low HP targets, because that is what made all the difference here. A1N1 literally did not get the kills.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, A1M1 responded well. I mean, they responded immediately when BPS went for the Krum Vargas. I think they initially made a good move trying to pressure Krum Vargas. They have really low hit points, and shutting those 2 tanks out of the game is quite important, but they can't really kill them off. And I think that made a big difference for BPS. And they realized there is a weakness in A1M1 and went through it, and BPS kind of snatched the game out of A1M1, to be honest with you.
And I think in this case, A1N1 didn't push hard enough, because when they pushed those Crownmakers away, they should have continued that. BPS responded to that by pushing on the other side. And A1N1 basically hesitated for too long, which allowed BPS to sort of like get out of the danger zone. It took A1N1 a lot longer to take out tanks because of that.
True indeed, and now we're back on Rockfield, and I think A1M1 is now going for more. I think they're going for more mobile and less heavily armored setup. So we're going to see how it's going to work. But 4 clipping tanks.
That's dangerous on its own.
Yeah, they drilled it. So when we are talking about 50 beasts, the armor and how open this map is. So if the 50 beasts got spotted on rotation and got heavily focused, can you imagine?
Exactly. But it's like with those AMXs, I always find with the AMXs, they either work wonders or they get destroyed very quickly. It kind of depends on when they're spotted.
Castle, you have we don't have any keys for you. Sorry.
Mutsu already poked me to ask you where his keys are as well.
No. No keys, okay? That you might get battle passes, but the giveaway is now over.
Yes. There will be more
So
for the NA stream later today and for all the pro streams, to be honest. So just keep an eye on
yeah,
the
keep
Discord
an eye
server.
on
We
that.
are announcing every stream on the tournament channel on the big server, so keep an eye on that.
Which means you're going to get paint all the time, so be
Yes.
prepared for that.
Well, no, actually, I'm not pinning everyone for every stream, just the pro ones. But here we are. We have the AMAX 50Bs with Mimo definitely having ping issues here. Look at this.
Uh,
So
oh
that is
man.
very tricky.
Oh no.
He's lucky
But
that
at
no one from
least,
BPS is there, to be honest.
yeah, obviously. So I hope he will get back online. Because I was following Foxy once again. I think it's like splitting up tanks, and BPS this time is going mostly on A. So Nemo is really lucky.
Yeah.
If BPS went for C, catastrophe
Yeah,
is
then he would have
on the
definitely been
horizon.
taken out. And he's still AFK, so I'm probably pretty sure his game has crashed as a whole.
Yeah, network as well probably. So commiserations really to A1M1, and BPS going to get A.
And they get away with it as well, because no one is at C to decap them. He's woken up now. I think their
Nice.
goal was to see if anyone was at C and then cap it. But in this case, they've given BPS a big advantage here just by one game crash.
Well, not as much of an advantage as the previous games, though, because they still have. Well, the hit point pool deficit is quite negligible, and they're going to get C very soon. So it's just only, well, probably 2 kills from turning it around, but still.
But it's not
I
just
wouldn't
that,
say it's a
though.
big disadvantage.
If your teammate crashes mid-game,
Yeah,
then you also have a panic on voice. You know that your tactic
yeah.
is going to be off because you're not able to do what you meant to do. So there's a lot more going on than just the caps here. And it's
But
giving
A1M
BPS a big advantage because they've been able to do exactly as they wish to do.
True, but A1M1 is also a very experienced clan in Clan Wars. Have a lot of training, so I
Yeah,
think they have enough experience to cope with problems like this. And we are talking about top 8 professionals tournament. It's
true.
professional, so
Very true as well.
A1M1 should be able to do something out of it. DD Sala is trying to go for A, but gets smacked for doing so. Will he get A though? It's going to be hard, but not entirely impossible though.
I think his goal isn't even to get A. I think his goal is mainly to get the point advantage back. So
Yeah.
even if he takes little bits of damage, it won't matter. But I think he's actually getting away with it. They have no shots on him.
Mm. Even if RG is going for B, it doesn't matter. A1M1 got 2 caps. VPS will only get 1 cap here, and A1M1 will lead in terms of cap points. So well done to A1M1 right here. But DD Sala might be stuck though, so A1M1 has to take this into account, and BPS might be able to pressure DD Sala a lot.
Yeah, or go for C, which is where we're going to probably see some Vickers versus Vickers action.
Probably. I mean,
Comedy is now
it's still
moving in on his
restart
own.
games. Oh no, that could be a interesting move. I'm not sure if it's the right move because General is coming in to support RG very soon.
Then we have
It's going to be
Nemo
hard.
moving in as well. And he's a very
True.
juicy tank. So they're going to take out RG. That's not up for question. And now
And
we
they
have
got
BPS
out.
pushing on the top because they
Yeah.
know they have the advantage there now, gun-wise.
Very true though, but in terms of hit points though, A1M was leading by more than 1,000, so they have to make use of that. Killing off Foxy and also General. It's all about the 1 versus 1 DU here. Whoever wins these two 1 versus 1 DUs will probably win this game. And A1M 2 caps as well, so the pressure is on BPS right now.
Pretty much, it will be very difficult for BPS to pull this one back because of that cap advantage, the base advantage more like. Because they're losing a lot of HP going for those caps, and they have no choice but to go for those caps. Yeehaw is going to be taken out as well.
But yeah, and that kill would seal the deal for A1M1. And coming from, I think it
There
was
you go.
Mimo crashing at the start. That was brilliant stuff.
I think actually that it won't have been as they planned at all, but I think it worked out in their favor mainly because it gave BPS pause. They probably didn't know what was happening. What was A1N1 doing? They won't have realized that it had to do with the crash.
Yeah, but I mean that was brilliant. I mean, 3 tanks still more
Wait,
than 2k. Sorry.
sorry. Someone in my chat just said that EG has lost.
What?
Yeah. What the naughty word?
They were they were so dominant in the
It's
previous
EG.
game.
What on earth happened here? But
Yeah.
no, they really are out. What on earth?
Yeah, I'm tracking now.
They lost 3-1 against Reti.
Oh
What?
Jesus. Yeah. Wow, that was a big upset right here.
Yeah?
So it's now open. I think it it can be any clan that could take home the season this season. So I don't know. Anything could happen. Endgame got jinxed heavily.
Just what on earth, you know?
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
me too. I'm surprised as well.
I mean, this is
Um,
EG. They've been like the strongest on EU server for such a long time.
Yes, and especially the spring season, they looked stronger than ever, and they won 4 skill tournaments. So don't forget about that. I mean, they are the only clan aside from Gucci Gang team to get more than 40,000 cups in the skill tournaments this spring season. So them finishing in the 8th spot, 7th to 8th spot.
Just wow.
What was wow?
Yeah. In the meantime, for Port Bay, we have an IS-4, 2 Kranwagens, D22 and 3 E5s versus an E100, an IS-4 Kranwagen, and 4 mice by A1N1. Just what? This is also what on earth?
I mean, New Bay is a map that has a lot of narrow lanes, and the city area is also quite enclosed.
Yes,
So
but
that
there's
can
a lot
work
of
in favor
crossfire
to the
possible though.
A101. Not a lot though. If you don't go past that long, the long road connecting the bridge and the western corner, then you're probably quite secure. But we will never know. We will see how BPS is going to work this out.
So many mice though, and an
Yeah.
E100 to boot.
Oh,
Pretty
thank
much
you
their
for 3
most
points.
mobile tanks is a Kranwagen and an IS-4.
Yeah. So it's giving me it's giving me ID vibes on Asia, but you
In
never
this
know.
case,
BPS Foxy's getting B, but
yeah.
they're also getting A as well. So cat leads to BPS. With 4 miles, how can you rotate and get back the cat lead? They could only either
I think
rush or get B, and I think BPS will defend B here now.
I think they just want to dominate base A and B, to be honest, because if they do that, they will still have the game. The bases are close together, B and C, I mean. The bases are close
Yeah.
together, so they can potentially do that. BPS just has to make sure that they do not get base B and not lose too much HP in the process. Cool
I
round,
think A1 and
overextending.
True. I think A1A1 is trying to wrap this game up, but I think they can't because there are tanks on the British side to shut the mouses down. So I think A1A1 trying to go aggressive. I think that could backfire, but they still have a lot of hit points to buffer. So this is still really tends to call. You're seeing Ehor and Elysium desperately trying to pull back and buy time, and this is going to be intense indeed.
Ali Mosa has been taken out. Basically, BPS has to push back very aggressively just to get this done. They need to take out the tanks as fast as they can, not block each other's shots. Elysium has been taken out.
Yeah, 4 vs 2, but on the other hand, 4 vs 1, Mimo has to be taken out very quickly. He's trying his best to angle his tank, but he's taken out by General. Ehor is taken out, so it's now 5 vs 4. Great shot into Korra by Criminal right here, but the hit points are still neck and neck. But BPS got 2 caps.
If they survive, yes, but they still need to be careful. Basically, Criminal on his own should be taken out very fast here, because all these mice are actually getting in each other's way here.
Very true, but now Korra and General potentially... Oh, General is
doing
leaving Korra
exactly
behind.
what is needed here. Getting
Yeah.
behind them, creating that crossfire, making sure that tanks are being taken out. Foxy is almost gone, but not before Didi, and Comedy is quick to follow. It is 3 versus 3. Staying alive is going to make all the difference here for BPS.
And it's all on UE10 right now. And General is just running around in circles. He's now trying to take out Crimino. Hipwood's still in favor of A1, but that bounce could be very crucial here.
Basically, General has to be very... Oof, that was a hit that he really did not need to take. RG is trying to block him.
Oh no. General is getting very nervous here. And A1 is looking to shut down General here. Naka is coming in.
He needs to run. He needs to not stand there.
I think he's trying to side strip, but would that be successful? I'm not sure.
No.
I don't think it will. I don't think
BPS
so.
has lost this. There's no way that he can take this. And they've only lost this because General didn't run away.
Or maybe, well...
Of course,
I'm a
there's
bit
more
surprised.
to it. But if General had run away, they would have had a fighting chance. With him staying there with the E100... Especially after the E100 was dead.
True. And the low DPM of RG is going to bite back unless RG can survive.
No,
But
he
I
would have to
don't
get a
think that
magic
will be
ammo rack
possible.
on Prince for that. And that's not going to happen.
No. And that means BPS is going out of the
Yes.
first day as well. 7 to the 8th position. A1M1, congratulations. 3-2 it is. And Thomas Peterson got that run right.
So we have one BPS that is still here. One BPS that has been knocked down. We have Loka and A1N1 that are still here. And on the other side, we have EG that is gone. I can't fathom that.
No. I think we have to ask both Peter and also Bridget, what the heck has happened? Did they only play with 6 players? I don't think so, because money is on the table. There is a lot of stake right there, so I don't think they can afford to play with 6 players.
To be fair, with the crashes and the lag that we have seen, I think that might have been a part of it as well.
Very
But
true. I think Peterson got a really terrible night today.
For those that don't know, by the way, that is the bot that Jack wrote in order to make predictions.
Yes, it's not my prediction, so don't blame me for jinxing teams.
I always blame you for jinxing teams, because you always do.
But Endgame got jinxed by Thomas Peterson so hard tonight. And, it's going to be interesting games tomorrow.
For sure.
We'll see. Yeah.
So yeah, that is the first day of games up and over for the EU. I will be back in about, little less than 6 hours actually. Oof.
Oh yeah.
To stream NA for you guys. For EU though, that is it for me. Tomorrow I will not be streaming EU on my own channel. I will be joining Jack on his channel to commentate. And for now, that's it for me. Thank you so much for commentating with me the second match, Jack.
Thank you very much as well, Eminette, for commentating with me for the second match, and I hope to see you once again tomorrow. Hopefully, the giveaway is going to be a lot smoother than today.
Yes.
I will be announcing the winners later today. So thanks all for watching.
I'll be announcing them on my Discord as well in just a few minutes. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tonight for NA or tomorrow for the next set of tournament streams. Good night all.
Yep. Bye.